And this roundtable that we are going to have today, hopefully it is going to set forth many women to go out there and feed villages in our continent. With those few words, thank you very much for coming to the largest university in Johannesburg, the University of Johannesburg, and we are looking forward to your engagement.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Professor Mawala, and all the team at the University of Joburg who's hosting us today. We're very, very proud of your university as a member of the Association of Commonwealth Universities. And a few days ago, a colleague of yours kindly took me to the Soweto campus of the University of Joburg. And when I walked into the campus, I was greeted by a poster that had that had a quote from Nelson Mandela. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. And I'm so pleased that that is what greets students on all your campuses. The Association of Commonwealth Universities is a network of over 500 universities on 5 continents and 53 countries, and we believe in the transformative power of education to change the world. So I couldn't think of a more appropriate quote or a more appropriate person in this country. We believe that universities play a role from cradle to grave. Not only the cutting-edge research that universities do, but also the outreach to communities, and we'll hear a little bit about that. And yet, despite great progress in many countries, including South Africa, gender equity, gender violence, and access to quality education, from primary, secondary, vocational, and on to higher, remains a great challenge. Which brings me to today's meeting. Thank you all so much for coming, and I'm really looking forward to our discussion and to share experiences and agree how the ACU can support your work in the future. In a moment, I will be handing over to Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex, who I'm very proud to say is the patron of the Association of Commonwealth Universities and is herself an inspiration to thousands of girls and women for the support that she gives to them and for the power of education to change lives. I'm very proud to have this opportunity to introduce our patron to so many inspirational change makers from this room. Whether you're doing cutting-edge research, reaching out to marginalised communities, schools and colleges, working with industry and entrepreneurs, working on challenging the status quo and creating pathways to equity and access in the classroom, the lab and society, you are all doing amazing things in South Africa and beyond. I'm delighted to be joined by colleagues from University of South Africa, the National Research Council, Foundation South Africa, the British High Commission, the British Council, as well as the chair of our Gender Advisory Group, Professor Funmiel Insake. They're the ones who judge the grants. The ACU are committed to working in partnership. That's the thread that runs through all the work that we do. And I hope that we can focus our discussion on how we can do more together well. And with that, I'd like to hand over to our patron.
Thank you. Thank you all so much for having me. I'm really so excited to be here. Obviously, as patron of the ACU, it's been an incredible, almost a year now, a year really working to advocate for what is truly and deeply important and meaningful to me on a personal level. Education, I think higher education specifically, is such a key element for growth, economic growth, but also personal growth and development. Yesterday I had a really interesting conversation with someone about the economy of well-being. And so I think so much of what we should be talking about and the energies that we focus on, specifically with ACU, is supporting people to know that if you don't have the support that is necessary, that you feel that you can keep taking the next step, then you're stunted in growth, right? And so much of that is, of course, having the support and scholarships and funding for students who are eager to learn. I mean, I went to university. It takes a village, doesn't it, to sort of piece it together for people to be able to finance that, get families chipping in, scholarships, financial aid, all those things that were the reason that I was able to attend university. But at the same level, you need to have that kind of support on the inside for educators to be able to give as much as they can back to those who are in the educational system. So it's very exciting today, and I will use a note card for this because, my goodness, this is the last bit that I can't screw up. Very, very happy that we're able to announce today 3 new gender grants. This is key. Obviously, they are going to be in universities that are here, University of Joburg, Stellenbosch University, and University of Western Cape. And the goal here is to be able to have gender equality, to be able to support women as they are working in research and higher education roles, and also to be able to have workshops to convene things that are really helping people understand the importance of gender equality. You know, true to what you said, when a woman is empowered, it changes absolutely everything in the community, and starting an educational atmosphere is really a key point of that. Separately, we are announcing 4 new Queen Elizabeth Commonwealth scholarships, which is very exciting. Students from Tanzania, Zambia, and Nigeria have been selected to study in South Africa next year. And I think what is so special about this, and part of what's incredible about the Commonwealth in and of itself, is that 53 countries also varied with this Commonwealth, right? With this universality that connects all of us. And so with students being able to study in a cross-cultural environment, not only are they able to absorb the knowledge in that community, but they're able to bring that back home with them to really elevate that knowledge. So it's a really exciting day. I'm thrilled that, you know, given the context of what's been happening in South Africa universities, which I've been also following very closely, that we are able to do our small part through the ACU to support so many people who are just eager to learn. And the only way that we can make a difference in the world is if we're receptive to learning and sharing that information as we have it. So thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for announcing the grants and the scholarships, which we are really excited about. And before I hand over to the 3 gender grant awardees, I just wanted from you to just say a little bit about what the gender grants, what we hope they will do.
No, absolutely. Thanks, Joanna. These grants have already impacted more than 600 beneficiaries. And the idea is that they lay the groundwork for ACU's longer-term work in achieving structural change within universities, but also so that those universities impact broader society, broader community. So these 3 grants, which we'll soon hear about, you can already see how they're contributing. The interventions that reflect these grants have been awarded by Her Royal Highness. These grants will show you how they are intervening in policy, how they are intervening in the student experience, and of course, how they begin to impact how staff transform, advance in the university space. You'll soon hear from Joanna.
Yes. And please just
Thank you. Thank you. I do have a lot of questions.
Wonderful. So first of all, though, Mary Haynes, you have a gender grant from the University of Western Cape. Now, I've been reading a lot about the very inspirational work you do, and particularly around how there are some pretty good laws in South Africa, but how do they actually cascade down into the institution? One really interesting thing you said recently was that equity, you would put equity higher than quality. So do you want to just say a little bit about how you're going to be using your grant at the University of Western Cape?
Yes. We actually moved from the premise of equity in opposing to equality because we believe that there should not be one for everybody if we acknowledge the differences. And what I'm going to do is to do some policy development with the workshops with the human resources staff, so that we can review and revisit policies. Because what happened is during the apartheid era, to separate universities, a lot of policies were designed. And I think post-1994, we have just been adding on to those policies, adding women, adding maternity benefits, adding paternity leave, etc. as examples. And we haven't really acknowledged that for each of these groups, things are different. Women need maternity leave for various reasons if they don't have a baby. And paternity leave for men for shorter periods because their bodies do not change and being traumatized as women does. Then, for instance, we have these marvelous laws around same-sex adoption, adoption generally for other couples, and those kinds of leave policies should also address these issues. And what happened is that people, like I said, have just had add-ons. So my idea is to work with the HR staff, unpack what the policies are, and then sort of rewrite policies to democratize and be more inclusive. And then I will also have half-day workshops with research staff. So, because throughout these years, I've found that research is sometimes not really engaging with the subjects as they should be, or can be very patronizing. And then I often talk about the new PhDs that's coming out, poor, hungry, and diseased. And it's actually to change the lens and to have a paradigm shift in how you look at the communities you're doing research on.
Thank you. Yeah. We're now going to hear from Monica Dutoy, whose grant is at the University of Stellenbosch, from our council actually, and you're doing a very different one around student experience, walking the walk, walking the talk, talking the walk.
First of all, we're just extremely thankful for the ACU grant. Money as a power to support the project, but a conversation like this, and I think the grant tells our students their work matters. And that's just, it's heartfelt and it's really feel good. So we are doing a small project with a group of students. It's designed by students for students. We're developing a walkway, a pathway. I think students feel, in a sense, disillusioned by democracy. It's not experiential liberation at the moment. Students are asking why do we have it in the Constitution, but in our daily relationships we don't feel as liberated as we ought. And so we're creating a gender detour, a pathway where students walk a path together. They visit an entrance of a club, they go into male spaces, they stand at a statue, and really have a conversation with one another, men, women, gender non-conforming identities, about what's going on between us and what do we need to say to one another, and what work do we need to do to feel experientially liberated. We are excited about it, and maybe someday somebody can come and walk the path with us.
When I was reading about it, I thought it's so fascinating to actually hear the development of it is even better, because you're right. I mean, I think so much is done in those walk and talks in any layer of life, but at this level, what we're talking about is you have triggers along that path, quotes or whatnot, or things, stimulus that's really going to help prompt that conversation. I think that's really key, because that's so much of it, right? It's how we communicate with each other to really understand how our needs aren't or are being met, and how we can support each other in that. So yes, one day I hope to walk that path as well. Yes, great.
We also hope to be able to take best practice and spread it around our network in other countries, in other universities, because that's the other lovely thing about being a large network, is that we can share best practices. And I think that walkway is a really wonderful idea that we could take on.
Yes.
And so thank you very much. So Linda Matwisha, who is being also awarded a gender grant at the University of Johannesburg, and this is more in the research space and bringing in a diverse new pool of research scientists. Do you want to talk a little bit about your grant?
Welcome, Uriah Kenneth, to the University of Johannesburg. We have a very exciting project which is fundamentally aimed at changing the face and the profile of senior research leaders within the South African higher education system. So our intervention is focusing particularly at Black females, typically that are at the senior lecturer level and associate professor level. And what we are doing is to provide them with opportunities and skills that will enable them to advance towards being leaders internationally in their respective disciplines. And we have conceptualized the program to comprise of 4 components. And our rationale is that we will be at an associate professor level. One is already a subject aspect to a great extent. However, to take one to become an internationally renowned scholar requires much more than that. You need to have networking abilities. You need to be able to navigate complex university systems to understand what are the priorities within the university, within the higher education sector in its entirety. What are the opportunities to get funding and strategic collaborations? So, and also be able to engage with other scholars that are at that level, to share with you the tricks and tips on how to become that outstanding scholar. So the first one component is we'll be running those workshops. Secondly, we will have personal coaching and professional mentorship, because you could be a great scholar and a great subject expert, but to advance, you need to have a good understanding of your strengths and weaknesses and be able to manage that. So we identify that as a key element of the program, and also establish scholars to guide you on the dynamics within the field you are working in. And international networks and collaborations are very important. So there is an element where we're going to have our academics go on a one-week international trip, which will be linked with our executive trips, and hopefully within the ACU and also within the Universitas 21 network, which University of Johannesburg is part of, and so that they strengthen those important international collaborations. And lastly, we will have an element for pre and post-project assessment. Before they start, they need to understand what are their strengths, what are their weaknesses, what are their blind spots. Oftentimes we don't know our blind spot, and those are the key things that are important for our development. So the pre-assessment will assist them with that. As they journey into the program, they are aware and they know what to, and as they work with their mentors, they know the areas of development. And post the project will be about the impact of the intervention. But lastly, what's important is that we are running this program as a one-year program, and we'll have a cohort of women which will work together during that time, and hopefully will form a network of support even post the project, which is important, so that they continue to have that support structure for each other.
There is a conference with the University of South Africa happening later this week now, and we're launching a joint report with them on supporting early career researchers and how important it is to embed changes into the structural infrastructure of universities, not just the change on the people themselves, and the universities to understand how to best support talent. And talking of talent, I'd just like to now bring in Sarah Fawcett, who has the first marine isotope lab in the whole of Africa, is at the University of Cape Town, and is at Fab Academic, the new Vice-Chancellor's, one of her young leaders. And I believe, ma'am, you met the Vice-Chancellor of Cape Town before. And Sarah is also very well known for bringing in young and diverse researchers into her lab and mentoring them. So I wondered if you wanted to say a few words about that.
Thank you. Yes, I'm definitely a poor substitute for the Vice-Chancellor. Yes. So I'm the quintessential awkward academic who aspires to be a disruptor, and I've realized that the way to do that is through young students, through diverse people. So I am South African. I was educated in the United States as an undergraduate and grad student. So, I feel like I've had this incredible amount of privilege.
Where were you at University in the States?
I went to Harvard as an undergrad and Princeton as a grad student. Which is purely an accident of birth, I think. In any case, yes. So I'm actually an oceanographer. I'm interested in the ocean's role in climate. And I feel so lucky to be at the University of Cape Town, because we have been developing this new marine biogeochemistry laboratory. We can make these high-resolution measurements that can answer all sorts of questions, not just in oceanography. But what's been really amazing about it is that my co-investigator in the laboratory is actually my wife. So to speak to Dr. Mary's point, we are married and we have an adopted 2-year-old. And the university supported us with maternity leave, family leave, the whole lot, and that for me made an incredible difference. And so what I'm trying to do is, through the Vice-Chancellor's vision of sustainability, excellence and transformation, to take the privilege that I've been given and find ways to kind of learn. I mean, I feel like it's incredible the amount that I've learned from the students. So we run this Advancing Women program. It's actually for women and trans students to try and identify the barriers to students in oceanography. But it need not be oceanography. It could just be science. What are the barriers that as privileged people, as men, as white people, as straight people, whatever, that we just don't recognize? And so that's some of the work that we're trying to do at the University of Cape Town, but it's all sort of a cohort building exercise. So we allow, it's funded by our Office of the Vice Chancellor, and we're trying to make it as student-led as possible. And so that for me has been the most incredible learning experience so far. And the new lab is part of that, in that the idea is excellent research answering globally significant questions that are also of relevance to Africa. But I feel very strongly that we should be making, international quality measurements in an African laboratory by African students, at an African institution, answering African questions. And so so I feel very privileged to be here.